All right, so this is try number 2. I apologize for those of you. I don't know what's going on with Zoom. I had zoomed in so I could share my screen, and it just kicked me off. So I don't know why I did that. So, all right, so here we are. We're back, Kevin. I just want to make sure that I'm coming through okay now. I don't know what's going on with Zoom lately. Probably a lot of people using Zoom, or they put so many privacy things on that now it just isn't working. Kevin, am I coming through okay? Just go ahead and Slack me. Let me know. Can everyone see me? If you can see me okay, Ari, just send me a quick comment. Let me know that I'm coming on just so I don't have any more of those issues. Okay, good. All right. So hello again, everybody. Because I know a lot of you are going to be watching this recording, I'm going to kind of start really quick all over again with the preamble as everyone kind of jumps back on again. So the purpose of this, as we get going here, as we get closer to the BODgroups launch, is to help answer some of the questions that we've received and kind of walk you through what some of the transitional pieces will look like as we move towards the introduction of BODgroups. We are so excited for BODgroups. I really, really believe, like I just mentioned, that we'll look back on this and go, this was a pivotal moment for the growth of our coach network and our coach business and a lot of our coaches. It really is a phenomenal tool. Now, while it is a significant advancement forward, as we roll this and bring this tool online, there are going to be some waves, some phases of bringing it online. That's just how development goes. And so part of the thing I also want to do here is walk through at a high level, at least set some expectations about what is coming at launch, what will be coming in subsequent releases and updates, and what that's going to look like for you so that you can go into the BODgroups launch with a little bit more confidence. Now, we're going to keep talking about BODgroups a lot over the next little while here, okay, until we're really confident that people have a mastery of it. But the first things that we want to focus on, the goals that we've got pressing right now, is to make sure that every single one of our coaches is aware of the launch, that knows that the transition is going to be coming through in the introduction of the launch, and that all of you are ready on the 25th to create your first group in BODgroups, that you go through the process and have the experience of setting up a group in BODgroups, which will be important for a lot of reasons. It will because it's now going to be showcased on your, whenever your customers log into their BOD account, they're going to see the groups that you offer. Whenever they go to your My Site, they're going to see the groups that you're offering or that you're co-adminning, okay? And so it'll be important for you to make sure that you kind of get that experience and put something out there. And like all of this, you guys, we are going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it as you get your hands on it and figure things out. And we're going to find best practices, and you're going to discover amazing ways to use the platform. But you've got to get into the platform in order to get that experience. And so we're here to help you do that, and here to help get out of the gates and moving with that, and helping you help your teams of coaches do the same things as well. There really isn't too much communication that we can do at this point right now around BODgroups and helping you guys get going. So to do that, today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some questions. I'm going to go through some, I want to talk about the transition a little bit. I want to talk about a couple other pieces related to it that we didn't cover in the training video from Super Weekend. If you haven't seen that training video in Super Weekend, I believe we have it posted in the units section. If you click on the units section, there's a BODgroups training. You need to watch that training video. That training video walks you through step by step on how to do all the major things that you're going to do, including setting up and creating a group in BODgroups. So you'll need to make sure that you watch that. In fact, maybe I'll post it in the comments, or have Kevin maybe post that link in the comments as well. So it's right here if you haven't seen that Super Weekend video yet. All right. So with that in mind, let me jump into some questions here. So the first question is, if someone requests to join our group from the page that we create, does it collect name and email or some other way to follow up with them? So great question. So whenever you create a group in BODgroups, it creates a landing page. We call it a group listing page. And the purpose of that landing page is to talk about what your group's going to do. It gives you a place where you can describe your group. It shows you as the coach, or if you're co-admin, it shows your picture and your name. Okay. And then there's a video where you can tell people about what the group's going to be about. So it's a 30, 45-second video you want to shoot, right? Telling them about the group. Gives you a chance to kind of market the group. Think about it like, again, like a landing page. On that, if this is a on that landing page, there will be a button that says request to join. All right. This is just one of the ways that people can find out and request to join your group. Other ways would be coming through if they're connected to you as a customer or a coach. When they log into BOD, they'll see the groups that you offer. There will also be a request to join button there. They'll click on that. Now, if they're an existing customer or coach that you're already working with, we already have their account, they already have an account set up, everything, it will just send you that request, and you'll see it in your requests to join for that group. But if it's a prospect, which is what this question is asking me, if someone requests to join and they're not already connected to, what does it collect? Well, basically what it does is it brings up a window and it explains to them, hey, look, as part of your request to join, you need to set up a quick account so you can log into the group. So we're going to do that right now and send that request to join the group. And what it does is it collects their name, their email address, and as well as helps them set up a password. So basically everything they need to set up a free Team Beachbody account, right? They create that, they send it, and then you get that in the request to join section so that you can follow up with them and answer their questions or things like that. So it does, to answer the question, the short answer is yes, it does collect their name and email address. Yes, it does do all of those things, but it also then takes it a step further and helps them set up that free account. So that now that they're connected to you as you're starting to work with them. So great question. The second question is, so if I don't have a current group to put people in right now, between now, so basically between now and the release of BODgroups, should I create a group in the My Challenge Tracker app to hold them until it rolls over to BOD? So this is a great opportunity for me to talk about the transition that's going to be happening here for My Challenge Tracker users. Now, if you use My Challenge Tracker, it's going to be very, very important that you kind of listen to how this is going to work, because as BODgroups comes online, we are decommissioning the My Challenge Tracker app. And so My Challenge Tracker app is going away this Saturday night at 7 o'clock. All right. And so that may freak some of you out, but let me explain to you how this is going to work, and that will help me answer this question right here. So what will happen as we bring BODgroups online, this new platform, is Saturday night at 7 o'clock, everything's going to start. We have to bring down My Challenge Tracker, Share a Cart, because we're releasing an updated Share a Cart, as well as the Coach Office. Okay, people will still be able to access workouts on Beachbody On Demand and Team Beachbody. All right. If you have Share a Carts out, those links will still work. Everything will work just fine. But those three pieces are going to be down. All right. What part of the process then is anything that has been, any group that has been created in My Challenge Tracker will be transferred over automatically to BODgroups. And so if you have a My Challenge Tracker group right now, when BODgroups comes online, you will see that same group in your BODgroups grouping, okay, the groups that you offer. And it will bring everything over, the participants that are in that group. It will bring over the feed. It brings over everything except for two things: the direct messages and then those custom email templates. So if you want those, if you use My Challenge Tracker and you want those things, you need to make sure you copy and get them out before Saturday. All right. And then one of the things I will say as well is those groups, they copy everything over exactly, but there are some new features available for groups with BODgroups launch. You'll probably want to go in there and edit some of those settings, be able to maybe give a better description. You can upload one of those videos talking about the group that I talked about. But for your customers, their experience, as long as they, or what they'll do is they'll just now log into the Beachbody On Demand app. And at the bottom there, as soon as that app updates, there's going to be that groups icon. When they click on that groups, they'll see that same group right there with their feed and all the people that were in it before. All right. So talking a little bit more about this transition, there's an email that is going out today to coaches as well as all customers on My Challenge Tracker that will explain to them the timing of everything. 7 o'clock on Saturday, things start to come down as we work on bringing everything BODgroups online. We're hoping about 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock Pacific time. I should clarify what time zone. And then by 8 o'clock on the 26th, that Sunday morning, we're anticipating that everything should be up and running. If that changes, we'll absolutely let you guys know. The only thing that's out of our control on this rollout is the update to the BOD app that goes on your mobile device. All right. We are publishing that as early as we can during the process, because Apple or Google, wherever you get your apps, it sometimes takes time for them to roll it out to all users. What you'll see is that if you have your Beachbody On Demand app on your mobile device, if you open it, some people have it set to auto update. So if you open and you see the little groups icon, like I showed you in the training at the bottom of the Beachbody On Demand app, you know your app's been updated. If it hasn't been, you can go to the App Store, search Beachbody On Demand, and then click Update Manually. If it's not available to you yet, just be patient. They do this rolling update, so sometimes it's available for some users and not other users as it kind of rolls through their database. So, but hopefully fairly early in the day on Sunday, April 25th, that app will be updated, all right? Once the app's updated, everything, you should be able to access it from there. But at any time, they'll be able to access it. Again, if everything goes down by 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, you should be able to log into Beachbody On Demand, see that BODgroups icon at the very top, and be able to see it right there as well. See your groups there as well and edit those pieces. So the transition should be fairly, the only thing that I'm just a little bit concerned about for our customers are people that are on My Challenge Tracker and making that switch. One thing I'm suggesting to people to kind of help with that, and again, it's not really a big concern, but if they don't hear about it, if they check their email and see the email from us, they might not be informed if they don't get it from their coach. So one of the things I'm going to ask you to do is you reach out to, if you use My Challenge Tracker app, make sure you reach out to those customers and just make sure they have the Beachbody On app and that they log into it on their phone. If they do that, as soon as the app updates, they'll be good to go. All right. So to answer this question then, would I create a group now and put people in there and let it roll over? Sure. I mean, if those people in the group understand that this is kind of the preparation for you to launch BODgroups and you're going to put them in this group, My Challenge Tracker app, make sure they're all there, and then it's going to port over to BODgroups, that's a great thing to be able to do. That's absolutely a strategy that you could do. All right. Next question. Is there a specific app for BODgroups, or is it the one that already exists? Well, it is the one. It's the Beachbody On Demand app that I know a lot of you already have on your phone, where you access your workouts and everything. As soon as it's updated, like I said at the bottom, right in the middle, it says groups, and that's how you'll know when it's been updated. All right. The next question: will the Nutrition Plus app sync to the groups so coaches can see how they're doing with their meal plans? Great question. So one of the features that we will be rolling into BODgroups in hopefully the near future is the ability to do plated and container tracking like we do on the Nutrition Plus app. For launch, the apps won't talk to each other. They're not going to sync up because the work that we're putting in is to actually integrate the tracking of the nutrition tracking into the BODgroups platform, okay? And so when that happens, we will also be discontinuing the Nutrition Plus app. One of the goals with this is to bring everything into one solution so that coaches, it's easier for coaches to run effective groups where they can track, they can engage with their customers, they can track all their progress, they can track their workouts and their nutrition, everything in one place instead of having to jump from app to app and when the apps don't talk to each other. And so ultimately we'll be discontinuing the Nutrition Plus app. Until we do that, though, continue to use that Nutrition Plus app. It's just going to have to be separate until we can bring it into the Beachbody or the BODgroups world. One of the questions here, it says, will the workouts sync to multiple groups? Yes. So if you're a part of multiple groups, workouts will sync to the groups that you've selected to have those workouts sync to. By default, they're selected to share to every group that you are in. Okay, so go through this real quick and see questions. I'm sure I've got some questions here. Carrie asks, is the tracker app going away right away? I'm guessing, Carrie, if you're talking about the Nutrition Plus tracker, I think I just answered that. If not, clarify it in another comment here. It is not going away right away. The My Challenge Tracker app, okay, that is going away right away. So when the transition happens on Saturday, when the My Challenge Tracker goes down, it's not coming back. If someone clicks on that after we bring it down, it will display a message to them to let them know that we've migrated it to BOD, and then give them instructions on how to move over to that BOD app. All right, so it doesn't just not work for them. Okay. All right. Boy, I can't keep track of all these questions here. Say I have 10 co-admins. Are all the challengers of the group going to get bombarded with notifications from all the admins, or will the host of the group have the ability to manage those notifications? It's a good question, Mike. So co-admins function as the group creator when it's integrating and working with the feed. And so as posts or things are coming in, yes. So there's not a way to separate, I'm a co-admin, and so my posts are only going to notify the coaches that are attached to me or the coaches that are attached to me. Basically, what the system looks at is the people that are in the group, and then the co-admins just have the rights to be able to publish and do things to help manage and run the group itself. So they would see that. Okay. Is this super choppy for anyone else? I hope not, Jess. Kevin hasn't told me that it's super choppy, so he's kind of my quality control guy. Let me keep going here. What I love about Facebook is the units section. So the units, so that's a really, really great question. Pieces that we're working on putting on our development roadmap is kind of like units section, but at launch we won't have one. Again, you're going to see that there's a lot of amazing advancements and enhancements to what coaches have had in the My Challenge Tracker app that make it very similar to a Facebook group, but there are pieces that's not Facebook. At least at this point, like there's still features that we're going to be working. In fact, let me take just a second to talk about some features. So when we talk about the development of a project like this, there always are like phases of things that come into play, and there's a reason behind that. This helps with the development process, gets it to market, allows people to gets it out in people's hands, allows it to just be a better product in the end. So the initial phase, the initial launch that's happening this weekend really is got some incredible features, new things that makes it easier. The integration work to be done to bring everything into one place really is going to be a real game changer move forward for us. There are some features though that we know coaches want that will be introduced in the coming months. All right, and I'm not talking like 2022. I'm talking months here as we're making this a very, very high priority for the company. A couple of those things that come top of mind, just in case for people that have been asking here. It will not launch with live video. We know that coaches want live video. We want live video in there. We're working on live video. In fact, it's actually one of the top priorities, the features to roll into it as quickly as possible. But it will not launch with live video. It will launch with the ability to upload video or upload pictures. There's no longer the time limit on the videos that you can upload. I think there's a size limit, but it's a huge, like 950 megabytes. It's really, really big size, so you should be fine there. So that I think will help. So the live video will be coming quickly. There's also been other things like GIFs, the ability to post GIFs in the feed. It won't launch with the ability to support GIFs. We're working on that's coming as well. What's some other things that we've heard about? Some feedback that we've received is the ability to pin multiple posts. Like you'll still be able to pin post, but just one post to be able to do that. That's coming as well. It will launch with the ability to nest comments. All right. So if I reply to a comment, it will nest comments underneath it to kind of keep the conversations together. And so there's some great features like that are coming. So the point of all of this is that as this is coming online, just know that there's more features in development that will be released, and we'll be talking about those as the time comes. Okay. Let me think here real quick. Hold on there real quick here. Let me see here. What about our archive groups of My Challenge Tracker? Will they also transfer over to BOD? Yes, any group past or present will transfer over to BOD. Okay. Will you be able to go live on BODgroups? I just talked about that. That's a really, really good question. Okay, Roseanne, as well as the plate and track it, that's coming. Nicolette says, once you've added challenger, if you remove them, can you re-add them to the same? That's a question, Nicolette. I'm not sure about that. I think so. But if you can't, I will reply back to your comment. So there's not a separate BODgroups app. It's just added into the current BOD app. Yes, Brad, that is correct. It is just in the BOD app. So if you have the BOD app on your mobile device, then you have what you need. You just have to let the BODgroup about the BOD app update on Sunday morning, and then the groups icon will appear there. Okay. Okay. Let me see here real quick here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to kind of keep track. We'll be able to see a demo of BODgroups. So, Angelica, if you want to look at training that I did for Super Weekend, the link, I think Kevin's either posted it here or it will be in the units section here on the champions page under BODgroups. That will walk you through a whole demo of how to do everything with BODgroups, how it works, and that should help with that right there. Okay, hold on, I'm trying to do this. Okay, look at this real quick. Yeah, let me see here. Can't wait for the nutrition program. Pump for this. Go live in groups. Andrew, I just answered that question. I'm getting here. Sorry, guys. I'm a little behind on these questions. I'm scrolling through them as quick as I can. Let me just go ahead and get rid of that one. Is there a limit to how many people can be in one group? No, there's not. Currently, we have no limit set. Okay, and I don't anticipate us putting one in there. Well, the data measurements, yes. So there is. So the tracking. So the question is, well, the data, i.e., measurements, progress, photos, and weights transfer. Everything that's in everything. Again, I'll say this again for my challenge tracker. Everything except for direct messages and email templates will go over of current groups and past groups. Everything. All right, if that helps. Can you talk about the ability to run free groups using BODgroups? Sure. So with BODgroups, think about it like a group platform. All right. So you can really run any group out of the BODgroups platform. We have, as you create the group, we do some things to try to simplify it for you, right? As far as branding goes, right, where you can theme it around a certain thing, which will bring up certain images, or you can upload your own images and do whatever you want to be able to do with this. So if you want to run a free like a clean eating group for 5 days, right? You can create something on Canva or some other site that's like a great little image for, gives you all the dimensions and everything you need to be able to create that. And you can set that group up and you can send out the invites like you normally would. And as people join that group, it creates their account, like I explained at the beginning of the call. So that they have a Team Beachbody account now connected with you, and you can run those free groups right out of that group in much in the same way as you would currently with my challenge tracker, although it kind of will feel a little bit more akin to Facebook in that way. So I don't know if that helps, but there is one of the questions that I will get is there as you're setting up a group. If you've watched the video, there is a section where you can check products that the coach wants to recommend. Questions we get is, will our system check and verify that they've purchased those products before they can join the group? And the answer is no. We really leave it, it's up to the coach's discretion how they want to enforce that. If they want to enforce that as a requirement, where they're going to check and see if the customer had ordered those products before they get in the group, or just as a recommendation. All right. And so when it comes to free groups, you probably wouldn't maybe put some things that are recommended in there, that they're going to need to have, you know, the recipe book, or they're going to need to have something. I don't know what it would be. Okay. And those are recommended things that you can have in there as well. So there's a lot of flexibility and functionality built into BODgroups. And I know, Samara, that as you jump into it, you'll really discover it's pretty easy to run a lot of the free groups out of it as well. All right. Is there a time limit on videos that we'll be able to add to our groups? I did that. I'm sorry, Megan, if I didn't get there quick enough, but there's not. There's a size limit, but it's really big. It's like 950. So it's really big. Let me see here. So Ash asks, from my understanding, the new app is the Beachbody app. The Beachbody is just getting updated. That is correct. It is the Beachbody On Demand app. That is where you will access BODgroups on your mobile devices or on your tablets, or you'll access it through the website, the beachbodyondemand.com website. Logging in there, you'll notice that there'll be a BODgroup section. If you click on that, it will take you to the groups that you've created, the groups that you're a part of as well. Okay, let me see here. Pre-schedule, I've already answered that question. Well, those that stream to Roku sync to that. That's a great question, Cassie. So I talk a lot about the app and the website. What about those who do their workouts on Roku, Apple, Fire, things like that? Will those sync to their BODgroups? The answer is yes, it will sync to their BODgroups. Now, there will not be any BODgroups section on the Beachbody On Demand Roku, Fire TV things. I don't know if it'll happen down the road or how that would actually work. We actually haven't talked about that, honestly, but it will sync the workouts to the groups automatically when they work out through those devices. Okay. Kay answered that question. I answered that one. The logs, yes, everything again in my challenge tracker except for the direct messages and the custom email templates will copy over. Okay. Well, Rebecca asked, will there be the ability to pin multiple posts? I didn't mention that, but I'll call it out again real quick because coaches have been asking about this. There isn't at launch, but it is something that we are working on bringing as well, kind of like an announcement section type thing on Facebook as well. Okay. Okay, great. Megan had the same question, so I'm glad we asked that again. Privacy settings. If we choose private, will people still be able to see the group, just not what's posted in the group? So the privacy settings really is about who can see that group listing page, that landing page. And so it describes what that is. Is it only people that get the link? Is it people who get the link as well as anyone's connected or is it everybody that can actually see that group listing page, that landing page? So that's how the private settings work. She says if we choose private, will people still be able to see the group, just not what's being posted in the group? Yeah, that's a great question, Jackie. It has nothing to do with, so don't think about it from a Facebook perspective. Think about it from a landing page perspective, like who can see that actual landing page. And so if it's listed as private, if I have a customer that logs into Beachbody On Demand and clicks on BODgroups, they won't see it there because that listing page, that landing page won't be listed there because it's set to private. There's also an option to have it kind of set where it's private, but people who are connected to me can see it. And then there's one that's open that anybody can see it as well. So I'll answer that question. If not, it's a follow-up here. Okay, I've asked her that one. Will there be a video to share Chinese? So Miranda asked if we put together a video to help our customers learn about the new. We haven't done that yet. And part of that is because we really want our coaches to help their customers through the transition here a little bit. Again, for a customer, is with the email that's coming out to them today, we will be sending them an email today explaining the transition. Their experience should be fairly seamless because all they're doing is really, if they were on the My Channel Tracker app, they're now just going to be connecting to the Beachbody On Demand app. Hopefully they have it and see the group there. Okay. And that experience should be fairly simple for them to be able to do. As long as they know it's coming, as long as they're not surprised by it, it should be a fairly simple experience for them to have. There's not as much work as it is for the coaches who need to know about the platform, set up groups, all that kind of stuff as well. And so it is a little bit different. And so we haven't heard anything to go to customers because we want our coaches to do that. And we don't know what you're already saying to your customers. We don't know how you're positioning the transition, how you're telling them to do that. Some are on My Challenge Tracker, some are on Facebook. And so there's just a lot of different parts there. So that's why. Will past post library content transfer over from My Challenge Tracker? Yes. Will there be a tracker pop up when you use the website to stream BOD? You have to go into the group of the workout. We'll ask you to post your workout. So it will automatically track the workouts when you on the Roku, these other devices like I just talked about. You can go back in and edit those posts if you want to add some color to it or things like that. You'll be able to do that as well. I don't know if that's what you're asking, Sarah. If it isn't, ask me a follow-up. Okay, there, I answered that question. So Sarah asked again, if you co-host a group, does it also show up on your page? The answer is yes. So what will happen, again, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. If you are co-hosting a group, when you go in that, you'll be able to see the group. When you click on BODgroups, you'll be able to share the link, invite people to that group. When people click on the link or go look at the landing page that you've set, it will show your name, it will show your picture. Only thing that won't be unique to you is like the description or the group video where you talk about what the group's all about. That there's only one of those. So it's not customizable per admin on that. So you'll want to make sure that when you describe the group in the video and in the description, that when you have those other pieces as you're setting up the group, like the maybe what the imagery looks like and things like that, that'll be applicable for all your co-admins as well, that it's not just specific to one coach. So, and again, you guys will figure this out in like 10 minutes on Sunday when you have access to this, I'm confident. Will you be able to direct message through the app? Okay, Missy, that is a really good question. So I wanted to make sure I brought this up today. Currently in the My Challenge Tracker, there is direct messaging. When we launch initially, there will not be, that's the only point of parity for My Challenge Tracker that's not going to be in BODgroups, is the ability to direct message. However, we're on that is something that is on our development. We'll get into BODgroups as quickly as possible because we know that you guys use that. It's just a little more complicated than it probably seems. So you will not have that. You'll have to do a lot of your communication through the app, and also we're introducing a contact manager in the coach office, which I'll talk about at the end of this if I have time, and show that to you guys as well, and you could use that. All right, in the coach office. All right. Is there a way to make files? Yes, they're in the. I don't know what you mean by make files, but there is a file section for each group where you can upload files, and so that your coaches and your customers, the people in the group, can have access to those files. So if you've created specific, I don't know, menus you want to share, clean eating, is if you want to do whatever the file happens to be, you can upload it and share it in that file section. Okay. Thank you, Miranda, for sharing that FAQ. Okay. Will we as coaches be notified when our challengers upload progress updates in their profile? I'm not sure, Miranda, or Tanya. I have to ask. Let me ask that question. I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe Kevin, if you could note that, because that is a good question. If they'll get notified when their challengers upload their progress updates. Okay. How does auto syncing the workouts work? Ash, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that, but auto syncing, basically, I think what you're asking is at the completion of a workout or when someone's done a workout, it will automatically post that the workout's been done in the group feed. All right. And so whether I'm doing it on the app, if I'm doing it on the website, if I'm doing it through Apple TV, Roku, whatever happens to be finished with that, it will be able to, post it to the directly to the group feed itself. And you can go in and edit those if you want to as well. Okay, great. And it does auto sync. Great call, Jenny. It does auto sync or it does that to all the groups that you're a part of. All right. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to keep these questions. Okay, so if multiple family members share a BOD subscription, but only one is in the group, will it log multiple workouts? So that's a good question. So she says the example, a husband's email for BOD, but wife is in BOD group, will it log both husband and workouts and wife? So what it does, it looks at the account. It logs the workouts that are done by the account. Currently, we don't have the ability within an account to parse out individual separate users in the account, so it just treats it as an account. All right. If we're ever able to introduce that where multiple users have profiles on accounts, then I'm guessing that would be the case, but that's not going to, we don't have any way of doing that right now, so it would be by the account. In that case, you might want to consider just turning off the auto syncing or sharing of those workouts and then just going in there and manually adding them. You can do that. You can go in and manually add where you're tracking your own workouts. You can manually track a workout and then share it to the group from there as well. Is there a short training tutorial to send to clients? Where I just answered that question. There isn't, just as a reiteration for Nicolette. Nicoletta, there's not an email going out to my challenge tracker customer clients, but a video, but there is an email that's going out today. So you can circle back as well to make sure they got that email. Will all the capabilities available in my challenge tracker apps, such as tagging other members, be available in the feed for this as well? Yes, that will be. It will be there. The only one that will not be there is the direct messaging feature. Okay, like I just talked about. Is there a photo album ability? No, not yet. A good request. I'm thinking about from a Facebook perspective, you could use the file section that way if you wanted to. I guess you could probably use it that way if you want to, but there isn't one yet for that. It's a good idea though. Good thought. If a group is set to open, I understand you can see it listed, but does that mean people who aren't in that group can see the posts, etc.? No. So Maria, that's a great question. So don't confuse, again, when we talk about the privacy settings, don't think about it as a Facebook privacy setting where people can see content. All it is do they see the listing page? Do they see that landing page? Yes or no? And so don't think about the content. So if it's open, that just means that everybody can see the landing page for the group. No one can see the content or the feed of the group unless they are in the group, regardless of what the privacy setting is for the landing page or the group listing page. Okay. Will gifts be available? Oh, Mary Beth, I know it is the language of coaches and the language of so many of us. It will unfortunately not be available at launch, but it's coming as quick as possible afterwards because we know that is the language so many coaches use. And I love it, by the way. Okay. All right, let's think real quick. Can prospects be added? So, Mary Beth, I'm going to table that when I do want to show you guys the contact manager, so I've explained that to you, and I'll table that question for there. Okay. People are excited. Blah blah blah. Okay, good. Is there a limit to how many admins can be in one group? No. You can have as many as you want, but just remember, all of them have access to use the feed and do things on the feed. So just be careful there. Can we send an invite through the back office to all of our customers? Chris, let me walk you through whenever I need to do it. I will, once it comes online, I will be doing a training next week on the contact manager. I need to get it in the production environment to do a good training to explain all of that. So I will table that question so I can answer that when that contact manager comes online. Okay. Can we schedule groups out for the year? Yes, you totally can. You can set start dates and end dates as you're setting up the groups, and you can create them all, and you can schedule posts, and you can do all of that stuff all ahead of time if you want to. Okay. And they are, and Michaela is right. There are ongoing group options where you can just have no end date. It's just ongoing. Okay. Let me think real quick here. Okay, this is good. Great. How will share cart work for multiple business centers? Oh, someone's asking the multiple business centers question. Okay, so let me answer that as quickly as I can. We will be sharing some more information around multiple business centers. So when it comes to BODgroups, just like the coach office, whatever whatever business center logged into the BODgroups and send share carts, that's where the share carts are coming from. It's from that business center. All right. So if you want to send a cart to, let's say you're going to sign up a new coach, but you want to enroll it under a second CBC, and you're logged into your BODgroups with your primary CBC, you'll need to go log into ShareCart directly with your secondary CBC account information and send it that way. All right. Daphne, if that doesn't answer your question, private message me or reach out to your corporate member as well. Either one, they'll understand it, and ask any other CBC related questions, because they can get a little bit confusing. But if you think about it like you do with the coach office, I think it helps kind of understand that basically everything is kind of treated as a separate account. Okay. Can we make personally branded landing pages like more advanced than the current coach website? Yes. So whenever you are, with the introduction of BODgroups, we are also introducing a better My Site for coaches that will it's better laid out. It looks better. It shows the groups that you've created, and that is much more customizable in a lot of ways for you because of those features that are there. So you'll want to go look at that, all right, and make sure that's updated. Also, whenever your group landing pages, these group listing pages that we've talked about, that each group you create gets that landing page or that group listing page, that one as well gives you a lot of functionality as far as branding, images that you want to use and create, things that you want to share as well. So I think that you'll really have a good time with it. Jessica, just jump in there this weekend when it's available, both in your website, in the coach office, as well as BODgroups, and play with it. And I think you'll be surprised. It probably isn't like as robust as some, but I think it's definitely, you'll see it's a step forward. Okay. Polls will be a great addition. Absolutely. That has been noted, Cassie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If more than one coach is hosting, Joe asked, does it show on their website as their own group? So again, just to reiterate, if you are set up as a co-admin, you share that link out, it does your name, your picture, all of that information, but it still uses the same, group image that you did, the branding for it, and the video and description that describes and talks about the group will be the same and not customizable by each admin in the group. All right, but it will have the co-admins, picture and name and stuff separate, so it will look like theirs. Okay. Am I available? Are you able to remove a group from a landing page once it ends? Yes, you can. Once it ends, it actually automatically pulls it down for you, or you can just delete the group as well. Okay. Okay, great. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, let me keep going here. All right. Okay, I think we've got. Oh, so Carrie asks, we get to the web portal through Coup? No. So that's a good question. So to get to the web portal, you'll just go out on beachbodyondemand.com and log in and just click on BODgroups. And then you'll be right there. And that's where you'll actually set up the groups, and that's where you'll do everything. That's in the training that we did on Super Weekend. So Carrie, you'll want to make sure, if you haven't already, watch that. The very first thing I talk about is how you access BODgroups. So it'll be there. All right. So I know this is a lot of stuff. I've been on here way too long. You're probably bored out of your mind right now, but I did want to show you guys real quick. How am I going to do this? Oh, you know what? I've got a print out of this right here. So I want to talk real quick about the contact manager. So, and this hasn't appeared in any training. And like I mentioned to Chris, next week we'll be doing some training with this once it comes out, because it is a kind of a cool new thing that we're adding to the coach office with the advent of BODgroups. All right. And so the contact manager is a simple contact manager. It's not, at this point, it's not super robust and has a lot of features and bells and whistles, but it is a really cool tool, and we're looking forward to continue to innovate with. So what will happen is, when in the coach office, under the Grow My Business section, there'll be a new section that says My Contacts, right? And click on the contact manager link that's there. Will be brought up. What you'll see is all of the coaches and customers that are connected to you in our system. All right. And that's what you'll see very first. All the coaches and customers that are connected to you in our system, and they will have kind of like this customer type tag that will say my coach, which means it's a personally sponsored coach of mine, or my customer, which means it's a customer that's connected to me and purchased from me. Okay. And so it also gives you the opportunity, however, and this was a question that happened earlier, to upload prospects, manually enter them, to download a CSV file from Gmail or other places, whatever, and upload those contacts into now your coach office, which is a big step forward for a lot of our coaches to be able to do that. All right. So if you upload them in bulk, or as you're entering them in, if there's a wizard that kind of walks you through it and helps you navigate if there's any conflicts. If you have something that you've uploaded that matches something in our system, we will connect those two together. And the cool thing is it keeps itself in real time. So if I upload some prospects, right, they'll be tagged as prospects in the contact manager. I'll show you all this in just a second. Okay. When that prospect makes a purchase from you, our system now shows them as a customer. And when the coach office sees that, we'll automatically change that customer that prospect to a customer for you. Okay. So this is here's a screenshot. This is good. This is the best I can do today because I couldn't get Zoom to work. All right. So this is kind of what it will look like, just to give you an idea. You'll be able to see down here will be a list of all those customers, and then there's these customer types right across the board here. Okay. Where you click to see which ones they are. There's also a tooltip here. So if you don't, where is it right there? If you don't remember what they represent, you can click on that and it will show you. Let me see if I can get that in focus again. So you'll see we have the different types. I'm going to start putting my finger there because that's what messes it up. In red, it says, let me see if I can get this closer. It says prospect. Prospect is somebody that's on that list that's not in our system. Okay. It says other customer. What that means is if I upload something, if I upload a contact exists, already in our system, but it's not personally connected to me, then it will show as other contact or other customer, other customer. All right. So for example, back to the multiple CBCs, because the coach office at this point still is CBC specific. If I upload customers from my other CBCs, it will tag them as other customer. All right. Which in some ways could help you be able to filter customers from CBC to CBC. Okay. Let me keep going here. The other tag is my customer. My customer is customers that are connected with me, purchasing from me, things like that. Okay, again, it's all described in the tooltip here. I'm just repeating what's there. Other coach is very similar to other customer. Whoa, come back. Okay, that middle one. And what that means is that particular contact is a coach in our system, but it's not personally sponsored by that CBC that's logged into the coach office. All right. This will also help you as you're working with prospects to know if they already have a Team Beachbody account, if they're already connected with another coach, so you can help them stay connected to that coach. All right, just to kind of help you with that as well. And finally, the last one is my coach, which just shows personally sponsored coaches. Now, you'll see here, it just kind of shows their name, it shows their email address and their contact type, as well as gives you the ability to send share cards right from here. So Chris, to answer your question, gee, Christmas, all right, I could send share cards with including links to that specific group and be able to do it that way as well. Okay, so there's more features that I'll get to in that a little bit next week when we can actually jump and do some real life play on that. But I did want you to know that and to see that that is actually going to be there so that you can go check that out this weekend when all these updates come along. Okay. Also, the last thing is you'll notice that we also did a kind of an overhaul, a revamp of the ShareCart website, and so I think you'll enjoy that as well. It's quicker. I think it's a little bit easier to navigate as well. So those are the main things. Carrie, the question is, will this be under Monitor My Business? It will not be. It will be under the Grow My Business section. All right. Monitor My Business will have some BODgroups reports where you'll be able to see the kind of activity of personally sponsored coaches in their groups as well. All right. Okay, you guys. So this has been a super long training. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, again, keep going through this. You can tag us in here, or you can, again, if you work with anyone on the coach development team, you can reach out to them. We want to make sure that you're prepared and ready to go. The big takeaway from all of this is making sure that we're kind of aware of the transition. So look for the information about BODgroups. Watch the training video from Super Weekend. Again, we'll post the link here. It's in the units section, champions page under BODgroups. You can click on it there and watch that. We'll have more training pieces that are coming out, but really what we want to make sure that we're doing is that this weekend we help Our My Challenge Tracker customers, make sure they're on our Beach Bod On Demand app. We want to make sure that coaches get in there and create a group. Okay, we want the My Challenge Tracker groups. We want you to check on those, update some group settings to take advantage of some of the new BODgroups features, and then go through the process of creating a new group. Check it out, get familiar with it, and then next week we're going to be talking even more about it and collecting best practices and things you're discovering and answering questions as they come along. But make sure that you and your team are prepared to really take advantage of this pivotal moment in our company's history. And it's really going to be something that's going to, I think, really a huge impact on a lot of coaches and their growth. So thank you guys for the time. Hopefully this was helpful, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye now.